All right, thanks for joining us for today's webinar. We're going to be talking about all things health science and health at Flinders University. Just a couple of things before we really get into it. My name's Rebecca. I'm a project officer here at Flinders University, and I'm joined by a current student, Clary. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Clary.
Clary's currently studying health sciences, and so he's going to help give us a bit of a perspective about what studying health science is actually really like. We expect this presentation to go for between 15 to 20 minutes. Just a reminder, if you're joining us, to keep your camera and microphone turned off during the webinar. It just helps us to get through the content without too much background noise. If you do have any questions, you can ask us via the chat function. You can type your questions to everyone. Other people watching might have the same question as you. We will, if I see them coming in, I might answer them during the webinar, or we might wait until the end to get back to you on them. But if you do have questions, please feel free to type them in to us. Just a reminder as well that the course content information that we're going to be talking about is relevant for all students, but when we get to the section around how to apply and the entry requirements, that's really intended for domestic applicants. So if you're an international student, please keep watching, but just remember when we get to that part that you might need to seek some specialist advice around how to apply if you're an international applicant. Okay, so lots to cover, so let's get into it. What we're going to be talking about today in our webinar: why study health science at Flinders Uni, what you will study, what the course is actually like, and some of the career opportunities that you can expect. We are going to hear more from Clary around what his experiences in the course have been like, and we are going to finish on the entry requirements and how to apply. So we have lots to cover. And probably a good place to start is that there is a really broad range of health specialisations that you can study at Flinders University. We've got a long list there on the screen, from nutrition and dietetics to exercise science, occupational therapy, paramedics, medicine. There's really a lot of different areas there. And what a time to really be interested in studying health. So if you're watching this, I really commend you on being interested in working at the forefront of really helping people and improving people's health and well-being. That's great. And I think what we're seeing at the moment is that health is always going to be an area with strong employment prospects as well. Now, we do have this big long list of health specialisations. Today we are mainly going to be talking about health science, just because it's an area that you can get started in right away. If you're keen to study, you can start in second semester, but also health science is a real, it's kind of at the heart of a pathway option to all of these other health specialisations as well. And Clary's going to help us to explain that a bit further, because he is actually going to be specialising in occupational therapy as well through his health sciences degree. So there are lots of different ways. Health sciences is a great degree on its own, but it can also be a great pathway to a lot of these other degrees as well. So that's why we're talking about it today. So let's keep on going. So health science really provides you with a lot of flexible and transferable skills to work in a range of healthcare settings. As I mentioned before, healthcare graduates see strong employment prospects, they've experienced strong learner engagement, and they will enter an industry that's really experiencing high demand. Health science also has some interesting majors, which we will talk about, and is a real area of specialisation for Flinders Uni. So it can be a real hands-on way to help people. So if that's your area of interest, this can be a great way to do it. So let's look at the actual course itself. So we've got here, as I mentioned before, you can get started in July if you're interested and ready to go. You will study some core topics in legal and ethical aspects of healthcare, professional practice, bioscience, and you do get to choose from a variety of majors, which we will explore coming up. You have the opportunity to undertake a health work internship in third year, and you do have access to international exchange opportunities as well. So before we start to talk about the majors, I might bring you in here, Clary, to just tell us, I guess, a little bit about what the degree is like. Has it been like for you?
The degree itself has been super flexible for me, in the sense that I can get to explore a lot of different areas of health within my major in health sciences. So I've had topics based around disability, anatomy-based topics, real public health-based topics where we're learning about research into public health and how to prevent disease and different disadvantages like that that might influence health. I guess some of the best topics I've been involved in have been my really hands-on anatomy-based topics, where we get to go into the med labs and work with really lifelike diagrams as well as cadavers, which we get access to in the Anatomy Museum. So it's a really good way to actually get that fundamental learning of anatomy, which is really important for me going into, I guess, a more specialised job like occupational therapy. I've found the facilities have been really, really good.
And I guess those hands-on experiences are really important in also helping a student to identify if this is a hands-on area that they really want to be involved in. Because I can imagine that some students might find working with a cadaver to be not what they want to do. So that can be a good way, learning what you don't want to do is just as important as really finding something that you do want to do.
And that's part of the good bit of health sciences is you can choose electives within it and explore areas that might interest you. And if there is an area that isn't for you, you don't choose topics from that stream anymore.
Fantastic. And I guess on that, talking about flexibility and how to tailor it to your interests, that really leads in nicely to talking about the different majors that are available. So if you haven't studied at university before, a major is essentially that you can pick a series of topics within a theme or an area, and that allows you to, when you graduate, you can say, all right, this is my area of specialty, essentially. So you would be able to pick between all of these that we have here on the screen, so health management, health promotion, public health. There's quite a few different majors there. So if you have a real area of interest, you can tailor this degree to really meet that area of interest, and also that might help you to gain that meaningful employment when you finish. So Clary, what major are you doing?
I'm currently in therapy studies. So my major is all about therapies and different therapies and client practices, that kind of thing.
Rehabilitation, that kind of stuff.
So currently my topics are based on the qualitative research methods, as well as rehabilitation studies. So very focused on therapy.
Fantastic. And so that would be quite a different area, quite a different focus to someone who is probably doing health promotion, which might be more about like public health campaigns and how to promote healthy living, I imagine.
Marketing, kind of a healthy lifestyle.
Whereas health management is going to include more business and administration type topics, and you would do some crossover with students who are doing a business degree. So it can be quite different. Even though you're in the same degree as someone else, you might be doing quite different topics based on that major. So like we said, really a way for you to tailor that to your specific area of interest. And I guess just in summary, health sciences as a standalone degree can really set you up for a wide range of career opportunities. I've got some suggestions there. That's by no means an exhaustive list. And I think that any type of degree can really act as a passport to your future career. So the people that you meet, the work placements that you take part in, the lecturers that you meet and you hear about their work history can open up all sorts of doors for you. So if you're interested in health sciences, it is a fantastic degree to get into. The other really good thing about health sciences, and we've spoken a little bit about this, but we'll get a bit more into it now, is that it is a really useful pathway if you are wanting to do a different area of health specialisation. So, for example, if you weren't able to gain direct entry to a more competitive program like physiotherapy occupational therapy or paramedic science, for example, the Bachelor of Health Sciences can be a useful stepping stone. So once you are a Flinders student, you can use your GPA to apply to transfer in between courses.
Yeah.
And there are credit opportunities for students who successfully transfer into physiotherapy, occupational therapy, exercise science, and paramedic science. So that means that you would gain credit for some or all of the previous topics that you've done. So you wouldn't necessarily need to start again at the start. And if you complete the full Bachelor of Health Sciences program, you are also eligible for the MD subquota program at Flinders, which means that there are a certain number of places that are held for students who have graduated from a Flinders degree to gain entry to the Graduate Doctor of Medicine program. So if you're interested in medicine, this is also a really useful degree. Now, depending on what your particular career interest is, it might be a good idea to call us, and we'll go through our contact details, to talk to us about what your ultimate career goal is, and we can talk to you about perhaps the best way to use this as a pathway. Now, this is a good area to bring you back in, Clary, because you are actually doing a double degree. So you're doing the Bachelor of Health Sciences combined with the Masters of Occupational Therapy. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about what that actually means.
So my double degree, I complete 3 years in the undergraduate of health sciences, majoring in therapy studies.
Yeah.
And then after my 3 years in health sciences, where I learn the frameworks of what an occupational therapist is, more of the anatomy type stuff, really the base level knowledge, I then go directly into the Masters of Occupational Therapy, which is where placement happens and all of the hands-on skills are applied that you've learnt in the undergrad.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's slightly unusual in that you already have entry to that master's program, and you've had that entry since you started in your Bachelor of Health Sciences, and that's because you achieved quite a competitive ATAR when you finished school. Now, this is a really good way to talk about this using health sciences as a pathway, because for someone who didn't receive that ATAR to get into that double program together, they can start in health sciences.
Yeah, so I've actually had friends who've done that, who didn't quite meet the entry score to get in straight out of high school, but they decided they still really wanted to be an OT, so what they did is they studied health sciences as a standalone degree at the start, because occupational therapy is already combined with health sciences. It meant they could follow the exact same topic rule. They could study in the exact same subjects as I was in. And then after a year, they did really well in university. They got really good grades, and they transferred in to occupational therapy, the double degree that I was in, and they got credit for all of the topics they did in first year.
So they will essentially, by using that pathway, they didn't achieve that competitive ATAR required, but they will actually complete that double degree in the same amount of time. Yeah, that's really fantastic. And it's good to remember, that an ATAR is a direct way to get into university, but it's really not the only way. And if your ATAR isn't, if you see the ATAR for some of these programs and think, well, that's not going to be possible for me, or perhaps you finished school a little while ago and didn't receive an ATAR, there are always numerous options and ways to get where you want to go. So if this is sparking some joy for you to hear, give us a call and we can help talk you through what your best options will be. Now, I guess on that, let's talk to you a little bit more. So why did you choose this double degree to go into?
Well, I really thought occupational therapy was an interesting field. For anyone who doesn't know, occupational therapy is it's a health practice, an allied health practice where you're focused on improving the quality of life of your clients. So it doesn't just mean you're helping them get back to work, back to their work occupation. It also means you're helping them with their daily occupations, like those essential skills you need, like dressing, washing, being able to eat efficiently. It's also interests, so things that you really enjoy in life. Occupational therapists work with our clients to help them be able to get as much enjoyment out of life as they would.
And it sounds like a really broad field where you could work, in a school with school-aged children, or in a hospital setting, or more in a rehabilitation focus, or aged care, I imagine. So there's
a lot of specialisations. You can go into mental health as well, and pediatrics is a big one. And it's super flexible after you graduate, so you can go between those specialisations quite easily.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, I think we've mentioned before, but just talking about how you got in, so you achieved that ATAR coming out of high school? Yeah, fantastic.
Just direct into it, super lucky.
Yeah, that's, that's good to know that your ATAR can be a really straightforward way to get into university if you achieve that. Score. But as we've talked about a little bit, there are lots of other pathways and alternate entry and bridging courses and things like that. So don't let, that ATAR really put you off studying if that's what you want to do. So I guess we've talked a little bit about what the course is like, but what are some of the highlights for you so far?
One of my favourite topics has been my counselling topic, which is where we kind of learn how to interact with our clients, and even though we're not going to be working as a counsellor, it's still important to be able to show empathy towards our clients and actually understand what they're saying and really try and listen to their problems on an empathetic level. So in that class we got to learn some skills, counselling skills, and we got to role play those skills with each other, and that was really, I think, an interesting topic because there is a lot of skill towards counselling and being able to actually listen to someone and hear their problems and understand them, and not just kind of look at it at a surface level. That was really, really interesting.
Yeah, that's fascinating. That's really good. And I guess if any of our people watching are wondering, or perhaps they're at school and they think this might be an area that they're interested in, or perhaps someone who's been working in a different field and is thinking of retraining, what kind of advice would you have for them?
About health sciences?
Yeah, if they're interested, what should they do?
What should they do? Give it a go. It's a super flexible degree. So definitely, if you are thinking about the health field or, changing that career, health sciences has been really flexible for me. It works around my work. It's definitely still possible to do. I'm working a couple jobs at the same time as studying this. Super flexible in the content that you learn as well. So if you do have a specialisation within health that you want to explore more, you're going to be able to focus on that. There's a lot of online options.
Yeah, that's good.
A lot of online options as well that you can choose from.
Yeah. So give it a go.
Yeah, that's my main. Definitely recommend it.
Yeah, fantastic. And just, that's a good segue to just having a little chat about online learning. So obviously this semester, all classes have been made available online as we keep everyone safe. Tell us a little bit about what that's been like for you. I know you've been doing 2 topics this semester.
So both transitioned to online learning quite easily and really quickly. I guess as they had to. Tutorials that normally would have been in person in the classroom have been moved to a program called Collaborate, which is kind of like you connect with your webcams and from home on your laptop, and the tutor can talk through the activities with you, and the tutor can split you into smaller groups within Collaborate, and it's been a way that we still get all of the content we would have in the tutes. We can still complete those tutorial activities, just socially distanced from our own bedrooms.
Keeping everyone safe.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing from other students as well that they've been pleasantly surprised at how much interaction there still is with their peers, with their other students.
Yeah, still get the chance to go into those small groups and collaborate there. the tutors as well have been really understanding of the situation, and the online study is different for a lot of us, and have provided extra sessions to go through assignments with us. That's and good. Exams have been changed to online.
Yeah. And I guess worth mentioning as well that all of the student support services are still available as well, and they have been available online, so via phone or video or chat options as well. So there's all of those options are still there for current students. Now, I think that what we're hearing at the moment is that we'll be heading hopefully back to face-to-face learning for semester 2. But like you said, there are a lot of health topics that are available online anyway. So I guess good to know anyway that you do have that option, and that it's, you know, a supportive learning environment if you do choose to study online, or if we end up learning online again later in the year. Okay, so just some of the key details. We've got health sciences there, and we've also put up the Bachelor of Healthy Aging and Disability and Developmental Studies, as they are both actually available for semester 2 entry as well, if you are interested in. So you can see there the ATAR for entry for health sciences is 70. Now, one thing I will really mention is that I've got there that there's a TAFE link option. So TAFE link means that if you have a diploma or above, so from TAFE, you can use that as entry to this degree program instead of an ATAR. And your diploma actually doesn't need to be anything related to health at all. It could be in business administration or beauty therapy or whatever. That is still, it just shows the university that that you've studied at a requisite high enough level that you would be prepared to be studying in the bachelor's degree. And you can see there for the other degrees we have there, the TAFE link is a Cert 4 or above. So it does change a little bit, but just really good to know that, we put the ATAR there, but the ATAR is absolutely not the only way to get into these courses. So if you are ready to go and you're keen to get started, how you apply for any of these degrees is through SATAC, the South Australian Tertiary Admissions Centre, and it's all through their website. You find the course that you're interested in, and it takes you through step by step the process involved. You can have up to 6 preferences on your list, and I guess our main piece of advice is to put the degree that you most want to study as your first preference, and then you can use other courses that we've mentioned as your lower preferences as those pathways options. Now, we do have other webinars that will just talk all about SATAC and how to do that application. So if you're a little bit unsure about that process, don't worry. You can watch a webinar all about it, or you can also call us and we can help talk you through how to do it and also what your best pathway courses might be. So if you are feeling keen and ready to go, your applications for semester 2 entry close on the 1st of June. So you need to get onto that quite quickly. Yeah. If you are currently in Year 12, this application round is not for you. You would be waiting until there's an application round in the later half of the year. But if you are already finished school and you are ready to get going, then you can still apply to start in July. So we're really getting towards the end of the webinar, but just to really emphasise that there are a lot of dedicated people here who are ready to assist you with any of your queries. So you can call us during the week, 1300 354 633. You can also book a time to speak with a student advisor. For the last little while, these have been phone appointments, but I think at some point we will go back to
hopefully soon.
Yeah, having those as face-to-face appointments, which can be really good as well. You can email us, askflinders@flinders.edu.au, and there is actually a new chat function on the website as well. So you can just ask a question that way. As I said, there's a huge list of webinars that are running each week. You can jump on the website, make sure you register so you get sent the link. And I've just put some webinars there that are coming up this week and next week, different study areas, how to apply, and also some some career skill development workshops as well. So having a plan B is one of those. So there is lots of different ones there. Have a look through the list, register for any that you're interested in. Okay, that's really the end of our webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. If you do have any questions, please throw them in the chat. Clary and I will hang around for a few minutes to answer any of your questions that you type to us. But thank you so much for joining us, and we'll hope to see you again.